Welcome, grade 7s, to our STEM Lockdown Digital School. It's so great to have you back. And today we are going to do literature. And don't worry, that's not as scary as it sounds. It's just poetry. And I promise you it won't be boring. Okay, you ready? Now, you know who I am, okay? I'm Sheena Kini, your teacher for English for grade 7 in this lesson, and these are the objectives, okay? We're going to learn the key features of the poem. We're going to learn about structure, the figures of speech, imagery, rhyme, rhythm, the external structure, what it looks like, with lines and stanzas and the topography, and then we're going to understand the figurative meaning, recognize the mood, theme, and the message. So let's see. At the end of the lesson, hopefully you will know how to listen to a poem, to guess what's happening. You know, Cooney's always doing predicting, how to listen for information, how to summarize main ideas, how to note specific details, how to share the values in the text and see the messages conveyed. Now, remember, I just want to, in a quick note, later this week, I will be sharing some homeworks that some awesome grade 7 sent me. So I just want to say thank you very much. I'm so looking forward to sharing that. You guys are absolutely awesome. Good job. Give yourself a pat. Yeah, on the back. That's it. Now, this is just a quick mind map. All right, you don't have to write this one down. Okay, so this is just how we're going to look at a poem. So we're going to look at the title, the form, the shape. We're going to see how it makes us feel. You know, what's the mood? Who's the speaker? Where is it happening? What is the theme? What repetition are they using? What sound effects? What's figurative language, you know, like metaphors and similes? And then we're going to think about and see if we can share these feelings and the ideas in the poem. Does poetry have to be serious to be good? No. Poetry can be any mood. Be serious. It can be funny, be powerful. And they just give us such a nice idea of things that are happening, things that someone feels, and you know, there's no rules really about what your topic can be or what your theme can be or what your mood can be. So that's what's really cool about it. So now, let's get down to basics. You probably already know this, but if I'm any good of a teacher, I've got to make sure you know this. So what is poetry? Well, it's a form of writing, and we use not only words, but we use welcome, everyone. I can see you guys saying hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, Tiana. Hi, Sipe. Oh, it's all my favorite people. Look at it. Hello, Joanna. So great to have you guys. We're an awesome group. Okay, so let's have a look. I hope you got your pens and papers handy and that you're going to make some notes. Hello, Arnold. Welcome, Gail. So just make sure you jot down anything you think you might need to remember. Okay. So we have the form, the imagery, the patterns of sound, the figurative language, and we use it to share our feelings. It can be strong feelings, and strong feelings aren't always sad or negative. They can be really, really good. Don't worry, silly, you haven't missed much. We've just started. Welcome. So now we are going to look at the poetic form. That's the shape of the poem. For example, how many lines? How many stanzas? How many lines in a stanza? Now, a stanza is like a verse, okay? And it functions like a paragraph, but it's not a paragraph. I'm going to say that from the get-go. It is not a paragraph. It's like a paragraph. Okay. So we are going to have so much fun today. Now, imagery. Oh, that's my favorite part of a poem. What can it make you imagine? It can appeal to all your senses, your sight, your sound, and it paints this cool picture in your mind. And then patterns of sound, that's your alliteration, that's your rhyme, that's your rhythm, that's your repetition, okay? And it really, without those things in a poem, is really not going to be very interesting. And we need our poems to be interesting. So let's look at alliteration. I think you've all heard this one. Peter Piper. What sound do you hear? That is repetition of the beginning sound. And it's a consonant. Now, repetition and rhythm. We're going to go through that, Arnold, now. Okay, we're going to go through that. Repetition is, welcome, Fakile. I think that's your name. Welcome. It's okay if you're new. It's great to have you. Love to have anybody who wants to learn. Very good, Tiana. It's like she sells seashells on the seashore. Well done. Repetition is when you repeat a word more than once. Okay, that's repetition. For example, if I use a word twice in the poem, we're actually going to do something like that. Alliteration is just the repetition of the sound, the consonant sound. Okay, so let's look at this poem by Edwin Markham, Lincoln, the Man of the People. You may have heard of Lincoln. Very good, Betty Porter, but that's quite cute. Okay, so you're distracting me now. I'm joking. We're going to read this poem. She left the heaven of heroes and came down to make a man to meet mortal need, a man to match the mountains and the sea, friendly welcome of wayside well. What are we repeating there? What are we repeating there? Where's our alliteration in that one? Very good, yeah. Very good, Tiana. So we have any more? Is there any more? We've got, yeah, very good, Benolo. Very good. So you guys are on the ball. Awesome. So we've got the her, that's heaven of heroes. Well done. We've got make a man to meet mortal. There we go. Man to match the mountains. Another there. Friendly welcome of wayside well. So there we got our wah over there. Doesn't it just make it sound more interesting? Imagine if she just said she left heaven and came down. That's boring. We want to make it interesting. And the alliteration kind of catches your attention. So now let's look at rhyme. This is cool. Rhyme is the easiest way to make poems. Okay? Now, there is something that you need to remember about rhymes. All right? And I'm going to go through that now. It might not be on the slide, so I would jot it down. So you've got to listen carefully. Okay. Now, the basic definition of a rhyme is repeating same or similar sounds, okay? And they're usually stressed in syllables at the end of a line. Now, a rhyme is when two words sound the same at the end of a line. Okay, now remember, if you're going to chat about things that are not related to the content, we're going to block the chat. And I know some of you don't want us to do that. All right, so let's put our listening ears on. Okay, so now when you have a rhyme and the end of the line, they sound the same. Sometimes they are spelt the same, like cat and hat. Okay, so you've got, they start with different letters, k and h, they end with the same letters, cat and hat, and the same sound. But then, what if you get the word high and sky? They rhyme, they sound the same, they're not spelled the same. But because they sound the same, they are rhyming words. Now, you can't go and stick your rhyming word in the front of a line. You can't say, for example, cats are nice, mice don't like cats. Does that sound like anything that rhymes? It's not interesting, it's boring. Okay, so what about this one? Cats are nice, cats like mice. That rhymes, okay? So, and they have the same letters. Okay, now we use letters of the alphabet to represent the sounds that we see in the pattern. Okay, like AA and BB, CC and DD. Okay, so we will be doing a few examples of those when we get to all the little parts of it first. So let's look at rhyme. As a rhyme, let's see if you can find out rhyming words. I like my nose. I'm glad that my nose points down to my toes and doesn't point up to the sky. For now I can sneeze just as much as I please without getting goo in my eye. And this is by Bruce Lansky. Very good. So nose and toes rhyme. They are not spelled the same, but they still rhyme because they're at the end of the line and they sound the same. Sky and eye, yes, they rhyme. Tease and sneeze, they rhyme. Well done. Did you notice when you're going to do a rhyming scheme and you have to use letters to identify your rhyme? If you look at the first two lines, they both rhyme. So we're going to call them AA. Okay? So nose and toes, AA. Then I see someone's got an answer there already. Well done. So then we got sky. So we're going to call that E. Then we have sneeze and please, which we're going to call C. Yeah. And then we got the last one, I, which rhymes with sky. And remember, I said sky is B. So it's going to be A, A, B, C, C, B. Well done to those who got it. I can see your answers there. Well done. Okay, good job, guys. Pat, pat. Pat, pat on the back. All right. Okay. So now, yeah, we have a different kind of rhyme. My gorgeous grade 7s. And we have the rhythm. Now, rhythm, I love it. I love you guys. The rhythm is different to the rhyme. Okay. The rhythm is stresses or beats, like da, 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 like pat, 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 okay? So if you want to compare to something. So poets use patterns of stressed and unstressed syllables to make that musical rhythm. And a lot of musicians also use rhythm in the poem to create a mood. So we have, let's do a simple one like the one I put up here. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. You see how that sounds like a song? Like if I go hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. Okay, so now that is your rhythm. So rhyme is like dock and dock, and it rhymes because it sounds the same. Then you have a rhythm, which is the beat in the poem. What if a word, someone's got a good question, what if a word is spelled the same, like right and right, and it's in the poem, will it be a rhyme? Yes, if it's at the end of a line. As long as it's at the end of a line, it will rhyme. Okay. So that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that. So now we have also, some of you picked up, and I did see your answers, picked up the repetition in the poem, where you repeat certain sounds to create a certain effect. Okay, now poets often repeat words to emphasize their importance, and in this case, they used hickory dickory dock. So they repeated hickory dickory dock in the beginning and in the end, and it just emphasizes. It just sounds more like interesting, and yes, very good. Someone said it's like a sound. It is like a sound similar to what clock is actually making. All right, and they've repeated clock in the poem as well, not beneath each other, but they have repeated the same word to create emphasis that it's about a clock. Okay, Saliwe, you can access these slides after the lesson, and we are going to upload it. So then you can get all the notes. If I get a chance to go back, I definitely will. Okay. So please don't worry too much about that. Okay, yeah, we have our figurative language. This is what you need to make a poem. You need all these beautiful, beautiful ideas like similes, personification, onomatopoeia, metaphors. All right, so we're going to go through each of them now, because it's important that we just have a better idea. Before we can actually write a poem or do a comprehension about a poem, we need to just go through our figurative language. And I know you guys know a lot of it. Bear with me. It does add color to your poetry, especially if I'm going to ask you to write a poem. That'd be cool. No. Don't roll your eyes. It is cool. Yeah, you think I can't see rolling eyes and feel them from here? Oh boy, I can. Okay, so we have, this one's simile. All right. So simile is your comparison you do use like and as. Okay? The poster is like a work of art. The poster is as pretty as a bouquet of flowers. So I put an example here. Let's see if you can find the simile in this poem. My family. My mom is like a fire. She's always warm, but sometimes she gets too hot. My brother is like a tornado. He always moves fast and spreads destruction wherever he goes. My sister is like a snowstorm. She's pretty to look at, icy at times, with a little bit of sunshine. The iciness melts. Together we are all like, I apologize, I added in the word there. Together we are like a partly cloudy day. We have our moments of darkness and gloom, but the sun always peeks through. So a simile is when you use like and as to compare things. Now, this poem doesn't really have any rhyming words, but that doesn't matter. It can still be a poem. Simile makes it a lot more interesting and adds color to it. You can, of course, you can take notes. You're more than welcome to take notes. Okay, so someone gave me a few answers. So I'm going to go through your answers. Right. Like, we're looking for like. So there we have, my mom is like a fire. So they're comparing the mummy to a fire, where sometimes she's nice and warm, which means she's affectionate. Other times she gets hot, which probably means she's like, it's cross. Yeah. Okay. The sister, someone says my sister is like a snowstorm. Yes, that is also another one. So she's icy at times. And in other words, she's like not friendly, maybe. And then other times she's very friendly. My brother, very good, CPS. My brother is like a tornado. He moves fast and spreads destruction. So basically it reminds you almost of like a little toddler. They just get their legs and they learn how to walk. So they're running around, but they haven't got great coordination. So they're a bit clumsy. So things kind of get destroyed as they're learning. Then we have last one, very good. If you've asked a question, I did answer your question. Was it about repetition? Just ask it again, Fikile. Because I only saw the one about repetition, your question about the repetition. So you can just ask it again, okay? So yes, very good. Together we are like a cloudy day. So a cloudy day, there are times where it's really nice and there are times where it's overcast, and I think it's a very good description of anybody's family. So that is the word like used very well in this poem, your simile. Fikile, what is your question? I'm going to keep going, but I will check. Repetition is not the same as rhyme. Repetition is when you repeat the same word or the same phrase. Okay, so if I said to you, for example, we are going to do it. If I said to you, for example, hickory dickory dock, we remember it was repeated twice in the poem, those words. So then it's repetition, okay? If I repeat cat in a poem, or if I repeat like the poem before repeated clock, it said clock more than once, so it's repeating a word. Don't confuse it with alliteration, because that is repeating a consonant, letter. Okay, so repetition, you're repeating a word more than once. All right. I hope I explained it okay. Okay. Well, I will try again if you get stuck. So now we have a metaphor. Now, a metaphor is also a comparison, but it's a little bit different. Okay? A little bit different. How is it different? I hope you learned this at school. Yes, it's a comparison, but it's different to simile, which is also a comparison. Very good, Amo. It does not use like or as. So yes, it's comparing. It's not comparing like or as. That's what I'm here for. If you forget, I'm here to remind you. Okay, so we have an example. The poster is a work of art. So it's telling you the poster is actually similar to a work of art. It's not a work of art. It's similar to a work of art. We are not using like or as. Okay, let's look at this poem as an example. Peace by Starfield. The wind is now a roaring, smashing monster of destruction, raking all man's work from the valleys, from the vales, and sends them spinning, broken, flying. Now there, the wind is being compared to a monster, but it did not use like or as. Now, it's not a personification because they're not comparing it to a person, they're comparing it to a monster. So it's a metaphor. Okay, it's roaring like a monster. It's smashing like a monster. Okay, so this is when you compare something. Isn't it interesting? Doesn't it sound like a lot of action is happening there? And yet they didn't use like or as, they just used a metaphor. Okay, and you can do that too. You can create your own metaphors and your own similes, and we're going to do that together. We're going to have so much fun. Okay, so now let's look at the next part. Otherwise, we're not going to get through them all. Oh, I like this one, onomatopoeia. It's the hardest word to spell. It took me forever. But boy, is it the coolest because it describes sound. And you can hear, for example, if someone uses an onomatopoeia in a poem or in a story, you can actually hear the sound of they're trying to get across. So someone gave me a metaphor. My brother has a heart of stone. Yes, that you're comparing your brother to a heart of stone without using like and as. So that's correct. Well done. That's a very good one. And you're welcome to send your work to me. I love getting your work. I love seeing what you do. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. I can hear the clock saying tick-tock. I race to finish my work. So the tick-tock tells us that the sound of a clock. It's pretty cool. Now let's look at the poem and see if you can identify onomatopoeia in this poem. Highwayman, Alfred Noyes. Over the cobbles he clattered and clashed. In the dark vineyard he tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. Clot, 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 clot. Had they heard it? Horse hooves ringing clear. Clot, 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 clot. In the distance. Were they deaf? They did not hear. Okay, so can you hear? I've actually underlined the onomatopoeia. Okay, so some of you have pointed it out, which is very good. So clatter, when something clatters, it sounds like it's falling. Clashed sounds like two things smashing or hitting one another. Tapped is like this. Okay, so you tapped. Then we have shutters. So, you know, when you hear, I don't know if any of you have been in a room where they have blinds and the wind blows through the blinds and then it's like shutters. It's got that shuttering sound. Okay, so that's what the shutter sound is. Clot is the sound of a horse hoof. Okay, clot, clot. You say it from the back of your throat. Try and say it, clot, from the back of your throat. Clot, clot, not from the front. Okay. Because if you say it from the front, it's going to be too much like a ta. It's going to be clot, clot, and that's not right. That's not what a hoof, it doesn't, don't put your tongue between your front teeth when you say clot. Use it from the back. Clot, clot, clot. Okay. See, it depends where your tongue is in your mouth, believe it or not, the sound that you make. So we can hear that the poem, I see, what do you notice about the sound as well? About the sound. It's different in the sense to clattered, clashed, shutters, and tapped. The clot, 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 what do you notice? It's repeated. It's repeated more than once. So it's a repetitive sound. So you can imagine it happening. Because when you hear a horse walk, do you just hear one hoof hitting the ground like clot? No, you hear four. Clot, 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 clot. Okay, so do you notice that difference? And that is the part where it's such a small technique. It's not hard to do. When you're reading the poem, it creates so much ability to actually envision it happening. Okay, so that's the importance of poetry. It has to be, you need the imagery. Otherwise, it's going to be very boring. Right, and then we have, some of you brought this up. I know you've learned this one, personification. And this is when we do, I'm going to say the answer because you guys have already told me earlier on, and I'm very glad you know it. So we're giving human characteristics to an animal or an object. So the poster sings to me. We're not doing oxymoron, right? You're going to distract me. The poster sings to me. Can a poster really sing? No, a poster cannot really sing. So you're giving it a human characteristics, but what do you mean by it? What do you actually mean by this poster sings to me? Why are you giving this poster a human characteristic? You can tell me, why are we giving the poster a human characteristic? Like sing. Oh, now you're quiet. Come on. Here we go. Okay, so Essie, you said emphasis. All right, Tiana, you said facts. I can't tell you facts, posters can. But why would it sing to you? Why would a poster sing to you? You walk past a poster. Why would you say it sings to you? Think about songs. Think about songs. Okay, so song, yes, Tiana, that's it. Yes, you're good. So songs kind of like put you in a different place, take you to a different place, you know, and when a poster can grab you in such a way that it takes you to a different place and makes you feel something different, then you can use the word sings. The poster sings to me. Maybe it's even a musical poster. Maybe it's a poster about music. That's why the person used the word sings to personify it. There's lots of reasons. We can really get our imagination going. So let's have a look at the poem Miss Cooney brought for you to look at. It gives human characteristics to animals and objects. Let's read this. Winter. With his icy fingers, he stole my smoky breath, laid a sheet of slippery, freezing cold by my feet, then whispered in my ear right to the gum that echoed in my brain with excruciating pain. Okay, so where do you see the personification? Yeah, I see fingers. Fingers are what people have. Well done. What else? So we have icy fingers. What else do we have? What happened to the ear? Okay, smoky breath. Very good. Breath is attributed to winter because breath is a human characteristic. We breathe. Very good. Okay, so what is human characteristic about the ear? Yes, what did the wind do that's like the ear? It affects your ear. Very good. So the wind whispered. So people whisper. So now they put the winter with people. They're whispering. Okay. So now, have you ever felt the wind, the winter wind in your ear? And it blows into your eardrum. It can be painful. So they are now attributing these human characteristics. His icy fingers he stole. Now, the winter can't steal really anything, and it does not have icy fingers, but it gives us the imagery that we need to feel what the person is talking about and that it's winter. If they didn't give this description, we wouldn't be able to feel what they're trying to say. So there you go. There's a very nice example. Now we're going to the types of poems. Okay, so we have free verse. Now free verse is really, it has no rhyme. It doesn't rhyme, okay? It doesn't have a rhythm, so it doesn't have a beat to it. It's like you and me talking. It's just conversational, okay? What makes it not be a paragraph is that it doesn't, remember, a poem's lines do not go to the end of the page. Okay, they are supposed to be short. If you keep going to the end of the page, then it's not a poem, it's a paragraph. Okay, so even though it's conversational, the lines are still short. Okay, well, I don't know if it's not you can give an opinion in a poem, of course you can, but it can also be fictional, like stories are fictional. The only thing I'm trying to point out with free verse is that you don't rhyme. You don't have to rhyme. It doesn't rhyme. It doesn't rhyme. and you don't use punctuation, you don't use capital letters, and it's a very modern way. Okay, so you're using your senses of what you feel and what you see and what you talk, but you're just not rhyming it. All right? I think I might give you an example in a moment. All right. So now we are going to write our own poem. Okay? We need to be able to use words that get attention straight away. So if we want to get across a situation or an emotion, we need to really use certain types of words to get attention and to sound like what they mean. Okay? And then, for example, in the example I put here, if you want short words, they show you that something is happening quickly. Okay, that something is happening quickly. If you use longer words, it sounds like slowly, like your poem's going slowly. All right, so those are two ways of being able to get attention. Like short words, the examples that I've given you, like quick and tight, they're words that kind of happen, like you can feel it's quickly happening. It's happening now, it's happening quickly, it's not delayed. And don't worry, if you miss some of the lesson, we are going to have it up, and I'm going to have to carry on with some of these, I think, in the next lesson, because our time is running short, but you guys have contributed so well, so I don't mind. Now, if you want to slow the read down, okay, then you use words with longer sounds or longer words with soft sounds. Okay, I'm actually going to give you a few examples. I'm going to have a few here for you. There we go. There's an example for you. All right. Roll right. Up, pick, pick. Wind blows sharp in my ears. My heart jumps, skips. It's up higher. It's up highest. Hands grasp at the clouds. In a forever pause. Still waiting. Finally, whoosh. Steep up, down, down. So we have your words that show something is happening quickly. You actually can feel the movement. You're actually going with it. And then when you see hands grasp at the cloud, then a forever pause. Forever is a longer word. Pause is a longer word. Waiting is a longer word. So now it's causing the poem to slow down. Punch jump, very good. That's a very nice example. So do you see how you can actually contribute to the speed of a poem? All right. And what I want you to do is, when this lesson is over, go and look at the PowerPoint on our slide. If you need to go over anything, if you need to ask me any questions, okay. And then at least, because I know I did have to go through it fairly quickly, and I know it's a lot to take in. Okay, so, and I really think it's so exciting because I've got such cool stuff to do with you. So I really want you to just go over the PowerPoint again. And then at least, you know, we're a bit ahead. So we've got a few more minutes left, all right? And I want to just show you the alliteration. Now, we have mentioned earlier about alliteration. And remember I said free verse is kind of like a conversation. So if we don't have rhyming words in a free verse, how are we going to make it sound interesting? So what do? We use alliteration. Okay, so if you can't use, or if you don't use one technique for a certain type of poem, then you find another figurative option. So alliteration is quite great for a free verse poem because it really gives it a bit more. I like this one. It just makes it sound so much cooler. So summer lollipop. This does not rhyme. But you can still hear it's a pretty cool poem. You can imagine it happening. Licking a lolly slowly, sunlight lapping at the lazy lake, lovely evening, lovely lolly, lazy life. Now, excuse me, my throat's just a bit dry. Now, You can almost see yourself picking the lollipop, can't you? There's no rhyme, there's no structure, but yet it's still a poem and it still sounds like it's something happening. So I'm not going to continue with the slide, okay, because sorry guys, it's just my throat's dry. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys join me tomorrow, before I do our lesson tomorrow, I'm going to finish the rest of this slide, okay? Because I know it's a lot to go through and I really like getting your feedback. So please, if you have anything you want to share with me right now, you know what my email address is, okay? And then I'm going to continue with this lesson before tomorrow's lesson. Are you going to join me? Hope you can, because we're going to actually create our own cool poems as well this week. Thank you so much, guys. I really love having you, and I really love teaching you. You're the coolest. Pat yourself on the back. Pat, pat. Come on. You can do that. Pat, pat. There we go. Awesome, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Love you guys. Bye.